Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here aboard the SH Vega, the latest ship from Swan, Hellenic. And I'm here with Philip Reutner, who's the hotel director, and we're going to talk to Philip about this wonderful new ship. It's a sister ship to the first one they have, and you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Philip, we're just on a test cruise kind of from Halifax to Boston, and beautiful day here, amazing. And the ship looks awesome. It's really beautifully well done. It's elegant. That's kind of the word people are using for it, very elegant. But tell us a little bit about this vessel. First of all, let's talk about the rooms, the accommodations. How many rooms do you have?
Right, so first of all, welcome on board.
Okay.
We have 76 rooms, staterooms as we call them. 16 out of them are down on deck 4, which is the picture of window rooms. Then we have 60 balcony staterooms. Out of the 60, 6 of them are suites, and out of the 6 suites, again, 2 are premium suites that have a walk-in closet. Interiorly designed, the suites and the staterooms are identical. Of course, the suites are bigger, have a separate living room, but the staterooms with a balcony and without the balcony are identical inside.
And they're beautifully decorated. And one of the interesting features is they all have these fireplaces, which I'd never seen before.
Yes, they're fantastic. They have a crackling noise, which you can turn up or turn down as much or as little as you like. Turn it off at night if you like, or if you want to sleep with the crackling noise.
I did that. I slept with the crackling noise last night. It was very nice. It was actually very relaxing. I was worried, partly because I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, but there is a turn-off switch. But it is a really comfortable room, a beautiful room. So you have all those great accommodations. Now, talk a little bit about the other public areas. We have an observation lounge, which we just got through with a presentation, and this is where kind of the heart of the ship, right, where you get your presentations for the expeditions, all these different things. So talk a little bit about the observation lounge.
All right, so the observation lounge is, like you said, one of the largest rooms on board. It can hold all 152 guests if need be. We have TVs that can come out of its cupboard, so not everybody has to go and see the big screen in the front. All the lectures will be held there. We have cocktail functions, pre-cocktail, after dinner functions, music entertainment in the evening, light music entertainment with our in-house pianist, and generally a very nice cozy living room just to relax.
It is, and the furniture really is really very cozy, as you said, and it really because it is the center hub of the ship. Of course, the other hub of the ship is dining and the restaurant. And talk about the restaurant on board.
So we have 2 restaurants. Okay. One is the Club Lounge on deck 7,
right.
A little bit more casual. We do an early riser there. We do dinner functions. We do an extended deck barbecue inside that carries onto the inside. And we have, of course, on deck 4, the Swan restaurant, which is our main restaurant that serves breakfast and lunch, generally in a buffet setting.
Right. And
dinner is a sit-down, a la carte dinner, nice white tablecloths.
And what is the cuisine that is featured?
We have I would say it's more French-based, most likely, with some influences from Asia. We have an Asian and an Italian support chef, so to say, that they gave us a couple of menus and trained us on how to prepare them according to their taste, and we feature these on the menus daily as well.
Yeah, we had a buffet at dinner last night because we're really on a test cruise, and tonight you're going to turn out to do the table service, right?
Correct. Tonight we're going to have table service.
Yeah. Now, in most of the crew, what's the nationality of most of the crew here?
It's a bit of a mix. We have a lot of Filipinos. We have some Indonesians. We also have a crew from Kyrgyzstan. We have some Ukrainians, Dutch, Finnish, Swiss for myself.
Swiss, yeah.
So it's a little bit of a mix.
No, it is a wonderful crew and a great service so far. I mean, we've only been on a day, but they're very nice and very know your name and everything else. And it is a small ship. It really is this. Now, this is the second. This is a twin of SH Minerva, right?
Correct. So they're identical, same size, roughly 113 meters long, 20 meters wide. We have 8-9 decks.
And then you have where the zodiacs and everything else and all the we go if we want to go down to the mud room, if you will, which I still have to visit yet. I have to go take a look at that because that's where you get prepared for your expeditions, right?
Correct. The mud room is a nice little hub where we have a locker for each guest. You can keep your boots inside. You can keep the jacket inside if you like. You come downstairs in your slippers, you change into the boots. There's stairs going down on either side of the ship depending on what the weather is like, and we take you into the Zodiac and we whisk you off to either Antarctica ashore to see the penguins, or we try to get you up and close and not so personal, but with the polar bears.
And you do that, but also this ship is interesting because your fleet tends to go to a lot of different places besides Arctic and Antarctica too, right?
Correct. We try to find the places that are unique, where the bigger ships can't go and don't go, and that have a big cultural background as well.
Yeah. Now, what's your background? I know you said you were a chef at hotels around, but and what's your background both in hotels and in shipping?
So in hotels, I started off as a chef, as you rightfully said, and I went on to do the hotel management school in Switzerland. And as part of that, I worked in the United States and in Canada. And then when I finished, I worked a while in Switzerland. Then joined my first cruise ship back in 2001. I worked for Norwegian Cruise Line for 5 years.
That's a different experience than this, I would think.
Totally different, a little bit bigger. Then went to Thailand, and I ran resorts in Thailand, in Phuket, not in Phuket, in Krabi and in Koh Samui. Company sent me to Abu Dhabi for a hotel as well to open, and then I came to the Caribbean. I worked for Sandals for 2 years in the Caribbean.
That's a different experience too. Yeah.
So big mix, and then I went back to sea. I joined Seabourn for 5 years, and I joined now Swan Hellenic about 1.5 years ago.
What attracted you to come back here to Swan Hellenic?
I love the expedition side of the operation, and I love the size of the ship. I think it's more personal. You get closer to the guests. It's more intimate, and you just have a better relationship with the crew and with the guests.
Well, you have not as many to worry about. Not certainly as many as you have with Norwegian, that's for sure. But I'm sure you've had an experience all over the place. Now, highlight for me some of the main features that are different about this ship, and since you've been on a few ships. I mean, what are the real selling points that my viewers, my travel advisors really need to key on with this vessel?
I think we touched it a little bit. It's cozy, it's intimate. The design is straightforward. It's beautiful Scandinavian, chic, elegant design. It's very overseeable. You don't have to travel far. You don't have to stand in line compared to the big ships. When we get into excursions, Zodiac excursions, we can do 2, sometimes 3 a day, where bigger ships can't do that.
Sure.
That is our bigger selling features, I think, and our little size that we have. And I think it's a gorgeous looking ship. It's unique. It has a Polar Class 5, so we can go into polar waters of ice up to 1 year old ice, and smaller harbors, unique places.
Yeah, and then those are the spelling. And I think the word, we were talking about this, elegance is something. When I walked on board, I said I didn't expect it to be. And I've been on a couple of expedition ships, and they were wonderful. No question about it. Some really, really beautiful vessels. But this has a certain charm, a certain elegance, and as you said, a certain cozy atmosphere. Maybe it's epitomized by all those fireplaces in the cabins.
That certainly helps. That certainly helps.
Yeah. So now it's not a real fire, but it sounds like a real fire. But Philip, I want to thank you for filling us in on this wonderful vessel, the second entry by the renewed Swan Hellenic. It's an old brand name, but a new company. I actually saw the SH Minerva down in Antarctica last season, and it looked beautiful sailing, and I've always wanted to get on the new one, and this is the newest one, and then you got one more coming up next year, right?
Correct. So next year we have the SH Diana coming out. Yeah. She'll be slightly larger. 40 more guests on board, so a total of 192 guests, a little bit longer, but interior design more or less the same.
Yeah, so it's sort of the same show. You'll be familiarized. Now, have you been to Antarctica before, or is this going to be your first time with you?
No, I've been to Antarctica the first time in 2003 with the good old Marco Polo.
That's a different ship. Yeah, that's a different ship. So you're familiar with, but this time you got a chance to go down and see it with this wonderful vessel.
Absolutely. So I did Minerva last year, and this year with the Vega as well.
Well, again, thank you for taking the time. I know you've been busy. It's just a one-day cruise, really, down from Halifax to Boston. Give us a sense, and we have a lot of travel advisors on board, some media, and really give us a sense of this wonderful vessel. And I'm getting a test cruise. So now I want to go on a real one, okay? So I'll be coming down there next year when you're there.
Absolutely. Join me in Antarctica. Best place on the planet.
Absolutely. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.